My name is Chief Dave Murphy, the Wyckoff Police Department. I've been here since 1995. Got hired as a dispatcher, and in 1996 hired as an officer. Approximately 31 years I've been with Township of Wyckoff. Served as chief since 2016.
My name is Kyle Ferreira. I'm a sergeant of police for the Wyckoff Police Department. Right now I'm a patrol sergeant in charge of squad number 2, and I'm also the commander of the Emergency Services Unit. The Emergency Services Unit is an 11-officer unit that we have here in the Wyckoff Police Department. Officers are trained from everything from doing SWAT to different types of technical rescues, different types of other rescues, and then basic things that we're able to do just to help other residents out in the town.
This training takes them actually across the states. We continue to get them out in training as much as we possibly can. The better the officer is, the better we can serve our residents and the businesses in our community. The Wyckoff Police Department consists of 26 officers, both male and female. We have 6 additional SLEO 3 officers, which provides security and protection for the schools Monday through Friday. So we run a patrol division, a traffic safety unit, a detective bureau, and administration and community policing unit, which is our outreach unit to the public. With that, we patrol approximately a 7-square-mile town, which is roughly 17,400 residents. We run from commercial type businesses to many residential homes to large mansion style homes. So we run a large difference in home structures as well as businesses. A lot of our calls run from either service calls, or majority of our calls. So if a resident needs assistance with something as simple as a water leak in their home, to an animal stuck in a fence, to a burglary in progress, to some type of emotionally disturbed person needing assistance, we kind of run a large variety of types of calls. And that's where our officers need all the specialized training to above and beyond what a normal day-to-day would require.
So this vehicle is almost on the road every day. The point of it's essentially like a smaller rescue truck. It's got a lot of tools in it that we as officers can use. So the point is to have it on the road in case something happens, in case we have an active shooter, a barricaded situation, some type of rescue where we need to assist. Having this on the road and having the officers in it is the entire part of it. So officers, each squad is set up with 2 emergency services officers, and those officers are able to take this on the road and patrol, as opposed to their other patrol car. Throughout the day, there's a decent amount of calls for service, everything from basic things to burglar alarms, medicals, fire calls to motor vehicle accidents, as well as different fraud reports and things like that. Like we said though, those officers also conduct regular patrols. So they can do enforcement details, they can do traffic. As you see, we have the radar set up on the front as well. I mean, obviously it's not going to be as fast as a regular patrol car, but it's still able to hold its own when it's responding to emergency incidents. So we work 12-hour shifts. I have to say this pickup, even with the added weight, this thing handles extremely well. We put an add-a-leaf suspension kit in the back, so that's able to accommodate the extra weight. But I mean, it's roomy. The way the console is set up, I had a couple of issues with some previous patrol cars on where things were mounted and stuff. For this one, we were able to set right in. Things like the flashlight mount was hit here, so every time you move your tricep back, you'd hit it. I could spend an entire 12 hours in this truck and have no problems. Headquarters is based Town Hall, so it's based in like the center of town. It's like right adjacent to what we call the Business Triangle. Business Triangle is like the Franklin Ave corridor, Wyckoff Ave corridor. It's probably a large area that we have during, that doubles in population during the business day. Wyckoff actually has, I believe it's 12 different commercial shopping centers, as well as a lot of people don't know, but we have a hospital in town. We have Christian Health, which is it's a semi-post-acute care hospital, as well as a mental health psychiatric hospital. It's a large facility. I'm not sure on the acreage, but it has a number of full-time residents up there that keeps us pretty busy. They put in the Vista, which is the new condominium and apartments from Christian Health. Very high-end apartments, but it increased the population by about, I'd probably say 200 people. A lot of calls, especially being an elderly facility, a lot of calls for medicals, fall alerts, things of that nature, where we end up responding up there.
Where we're looking to move in the future, I would potentially see a second vehicle, not to this extreme scale, but a vehicle that would provide, again, an average patrol officer the tools that they need immediately and on scene. Because then that's our immediate goal, is to provide the best service that we possibly can to our residents, to the businesses, and everybody that passes through Wyckoff. and to be self-sufficient.
What we did with 1075 was, this is a 5-year project that took us a lot of time to go from just different edits essentially that we were doing in the truck. One of the best things we set up, we had an agency that unfortunately they got a boat stuck, and we were able to utilize this winch. It's a Warren 12,000, it's the Platinum winch. 1075 hooked it up and got us the top of the line one where we have a wireless remote controller. Everything sets up. It's about a 100-foot winch synthetic cable that we're able to run all the way out. In this particular scenario, one of the agencies got the boat stuck and they needed help getting it out. We were able to run it out and then tie a utility rope to it, and we were able to winch it out, with only being the second day on the road this thing had. So it works fantastic. You come around to the driver's side. What we did was, in planning with Ryan Dodd and Drew, 1075 removed 2 of the 3 seats in the back, and we built a custom console specific for our needs. So if you look in the console over here, we have it set up. The bottom left is a medical kit. That way it's inside the climate control and has medications like Narcan and Naxalone that we're able to have. We're able to keep that climate control. Above here, we have a set of all of our Milwaukee batteries. Since they're those lithium-ion batteries, we want to keep them climate controlled too to expand their life. Having them inside the cab as opposed to being outside where the elements are going to get them really extends it. They custom built. We didn't even ask for this one, but they came up with a safe on the side where we're able to have a smaller safe. We have 2 rifle safes, 2 rifle locks inside of the truck. What they did was they came up with a separate handgun safe where we can now store a handgun, a taser, and spare ammunition here. The entire point in having this truck, like I said, it's a toolbox to have on the road, but a lot of the officers here, we live in town. If we have an incident, just this past week, we had a lockdown scenario at one of the schools. One of the officers that are driving into headquarters, typically to get their equipment and then have to respond back to the scene, in a case like that, they don't have to bypass the scene. They can come right to the scene. We have extra handguns, we have extra tasers, we have extra body armor, extra helmets, extra radios, all set up inside of this vehicle and secured in here. On the top side, we have a blast trauma kit for any type of active shooter scenario where there's multiple tourniquets, multiple chest seals, Israeli bandages, things like that, as well as just basic things like caution tape, danger tape. Inside this cabinet, we have 3 different meters. We have a thermal imaging camera, which can help us. We have suspects flee, go into the woods, search, they try hiding. We can utilize that thermal imaging camera to find where those suspects are. And next, you have a 4 gas meter as well as a natural gas sniffer. We work hand in hand with our fire department, myself as well as Chief Murphy and a couple other members in our department are members of the fire department here. What we did was we purchased all the same equipment so that we and the fire department can work together to help. So if we go into the house to activate an activated carbon monoxide leak, we can utilize their meters and our meters to confirm that the area is safe. Notice here we have a case with a drone setup in it, drone set up inside the truck so that anywhere we go, we can utilize that. Back to that last incident, we were actually able to, the second day this truck was on the road, we got called mutual aid to an agency where there was a mental health crisis where a suicidal male ran out into cold waters and a lake. We were actually, with him being on scene and having the drone up in the air, we were able to find him in less than 2 minutes. We utilized the big screen, which we'll show you in the back, that 1075 set up, so that's an invaluable tool that we have. On the fire side, on the police side, on the EMS side, OEM side, doesn't matter. Having a drone, having that aerial command gives the commander, or incident commander, whatever you want to call it, that overhead view of that situational awareness of everything going on. So suppose if I'm running a scene and I have here, I can take that drone up and utilizing thermal imaging or utilizing the different zoom cameras on it, I can locate where all my officers are based on a perimeter and where that suspect potentially is. Up here, you also see we have 2 different fire extinguishers. We have an ABC dry chem extinguisher, electrical fires, things like that, as well as a water can if we have something. Fire department's our main reason for fire suppression, but we've seen in a couple of surrounding agencies, there have been incidents where officers get on scene and there's someone trapped inside the car and the car's on fire. We can utilize this to make a quick push so that we're able to grab that victim out and make sure that they're okay. This is our forcible entry cabinet. We have tools here to be able to make forcible entry in any type of situation. Whether we have a medical where somebody's unconscious on the ground and we need to force entry, to if we have a barricaded situation or a SWAT scenario. Sledgehammer up here, Chicago style Halligan, and bolt cutters. And if that can't do it, we have a demo saw with a blade. So if we have a commercial door, we have some type of steel grating, some type of fencing that we need to cut through, we can utilize this. We also set each one of our cabinets is set up with AC and DC power. So you'll notice the inverter, they set up an 1800 watt inverter so we can have power to all of these, as well as charging things like flashlights. Different switches where we have it set to red as night, so when you open the cabinet, if an officer opens this at night, he's not going to get blinded. But if it's during the day or the night, you can switch it to white, and you can have the light that you're going to need on the outside. The reason this was set up on the driver's side was typically if we pull up and we have a medical or there's an unconscious person inside of a locked vehicle or inside of a locked house, we set this up that we can exit the vehicle, get right to our forcible entry tools, and we can get in that house and provide that life-saving care to that person. It happens in fires, happens in medicals, happens in a lot of different scenarios where we're able to get this. You work your way around the back. One of the biggest things that we hate as officers is we get in the back, suppose we have a motor vehicle accident on the highway and we need to now block traffic. We have our emergency lights on. These very extremely bright LEDs are hitting you in the face. 1075 set it up when we open our rear cabinet, they're gonna immediately shut off while that's here. But they now transfer to lower ones so that there's also no protection. Working our way to the back, I can set it up so that it's actual protection here. I can turn them off from a switch that they set off, or if, as you can see, we have a command post back here, I can switch it to command where everybody now arriving on scene can determine if this is the command post truck. It's a way off between blinding the officers in the face and safety on scene. You'll see back here, we also have the same setup where it's red on the inside when we open it, but we can also switch it to white if we need to see inside more. On the back, this is essentially the point of this truck is to be able to have all of our tools on the road, but to also be able to run any incident. You'll notice that we set up on the barn door styles that we have over here, 2 whiteboards, both on either side with the light that changes red to white, depending on what we're doing. So we could denote, if I'm the incident commander, I can note all units that are coming in, any important information that we have here. That way it's documented. As a police officer, your biggest tool, as nerdy as it sounds, is a pen and a piece of paper, because half the stuff is taking notes and figuring out where things are. So we're able to have our whiteboards and document that. Speaking of digital scenes, I fly a lot of drone missions for the county. I'm on the regional SWAT team and I fly the drones for them, as well as the County Office of Emergency Management. One of the biggest problems that we have as drone operators is when we're flying with a little remote with a TV screen on here. If I go mutual aid somewhere, those 5 to 10 officers are now huddled over me, pointing, looking here. What 1075 did was they slid out a rollout TV where I can now have access to anything that we want. Plug the drone in, plug anything in that we need. And at our command post, we can all be here watching on our whiteboards, having the drone in the air, or we purchased a long enough HDMI cable to run it back to our computer, where we have our ThinkMap GIS system. What that does is it has a map of the area, as well as all the officers' GPS locations from the portable radios. So as a commander, I can now look at the map and I can see exactly where my officers are and determine where I need to deploy additional resources. We have a 1800 watt inverter that 1075 put in for us. A truck like this, all the different things we need power. Having that inverter system set up in here is perfect so that we're able to charge everything we need and keep everything running. You'll notice a secondary rifle mount up here we're able to have, just like we were saying before, an officer who's off duty can now respond in, have the rifle, have the guns, and have the protection needed to be able to assist those other officers. The radio system in the truck, we have 3 mobile radios. We have a UHF radio, which covers our Wyckoff frequency, a VHF radio, which covers SPEN and some of the other surrounding agencies, and then a tri-band radio, which can handle UHF, VHF, and 7800 series. The advantages in having those are 2 of the remote heads are mounted back here. So in the front of the cab and the back, we can monitor the UHF radio, which is our Wyckoff frequency, and a tri-band, which can cover any town that we're responding to. The 2 radios mirror each other. So right now it's on Mahwah, Oakland, Paramus, Ramsey. Any of those channels can be monitored from here, as well as keeping our Wyckoff channel in check. 1075 set us up with the decked system along with the split cargo glide on top. We have a 16-foot expandable tactical ladder, as well as a porter power hydraulic tools with a rabbit tool, bolt cutters, and a door jamb spreader. So we're able to assist if the manual forcible entry tools won't work, we can use hydraulic to start moving. We try to do things in order of importance. We have 2 throw bags here in case we have water rescues, ice rescues, or just somebody stuck. Then we'll have a box of flares because we're still a regular patrol truck. With the deck comes the individual compartments. So we can save this. I have 2 gloves, I have anchor straps, shackles, and a snatch block that we're able to set up a 2-to-1 mechanical advantage anytime that we're winching. We have a couple locations in town, whether it's the ravine, which is essentially a 120-foot ravine that goes down, where you have the potential, there's a road that runs right alongside of it. If a car goes down, if a hiker or anything falls down there, we need to be able to have patient access. So we'll have multiple lengths of 300-foot rope, as well as in here. Anything from anchor straps, edge protection, webbing, to our harnesses for our officers, to our hardware, anything from carabiners to figure 8 descenders to prussics to braking systems and pulleys. Now again, our fire department is crucial when it comes to this because this is only a 2-officer unit. You can't set up an entire rope rescuing thing with 2 officers, but training with our fire department, we're able to work together to utilize them and us to be able to access that patient and rescue that patient if needed. We have a tower light that can pop up to 8 feet tall. It can be run on AC power or the batteries, depending on the scene that we're at. We have a 16-inch chainsaw. We have a lot of calls where we need trees down across the road. If they're not involving wires, typically officers are just trying to drag them off. It's very difficult when it's a heavier tree, so we're able to utilize the chainsaw to chop it up, and then we can use the winch to be able to pull some of the blocks off to be able to open the road up a lot quicker. One of our major calls for service are motor vehicle accidents, especially on 208. High-speed collisions that we have, typically breaking glass, breaking fiberglass things on the vehicle. A lot of the times we're able to move the trucks or the cars out of the road, but we need to wait for the tow to be able to clean up all the debris. Now we can speed up that and be able to get the highways and the roads open a lot quicker by utilizing the blower and the flathead shovel to move that debris off the road. We have lockout kits for motor vehicles. We have K-tool that we're able to, if we don't need to force entry and wreck the entire jam in a hurry, if we're able to take our time, we're able to just pop the cylinder and be able to utilize this tool to be able to get in. Different drill bits from Milwaukee. We have this is actually an extremely useful tool. It's a 12-volt inspection camera. It's a fiber optic inspection camera that goes under. If we have a barricaded subject and there's a threat of a weapon, we've been able to utilize this, go up to the door, feed this under the door and be able to see what's going on in the barricade and actually be able to confirm that he doesn't have a weapon. So now we can take our time and talk to that individual who's in crisis and try to give him the help that he needs. In case we do force entry into someone's house, we can't just, now we take them to the hospital, we can't just leave it. Now there's gonna be an open door, that house isn't gonna be secure. So we call this our securing toolbox. You come in here, I have everything from 1, 2, 3-inch screws, framing nails, zip ties, electrical tape, anything I need to be able to re-secure up a house. We can find some lumber, find the door that we broke, and we can re-secure it with the other tools that we have on this. On the passenger side, we have the rest of our tools all set up. Inside, we have the red lights that can also switch to the white lights, just like everyone. We keep it in red so it doesn't blind anybody. We have an impact driver, hammer drill, angle grinder, sawzall. These two have been great. We have a lot of problems with deer here in the town. Deer will often hop into a fence, get their legs stuck in a fence. Most of the time prior to having the tools, we just have to euthanize the deer and put them down. What we're able to do now is utilize these tools, and we've actually freed 4 or 5 deer in the past month. Where we're able to just make a small relief cut in the fence and we're able to get the deer out so they're able to go. As we said, we set this up so that officers can respond to a scene and have everything they need. So you'll notice here we have a quick ballistic shield on a seatbelt now that I can just quick press the seatbelt, retrieve the shield, and now move out. We have spare plate carriers, individual first aid kits, as well as a ballistic helmet that's on the top. So you'll notice when we pop out these custom seatbelt holders, we're gonna pull out our ballistic helmet, as well as SCBA masks. And inside you can actually see they wired in a portable radio charger. So that officer that's responding has that spare portable radio. On the left side, you'll be able to see a SCBA. Not so much, officers aren't really responding to fires and things like that, but we've had certain calls where officers arrive first on scene. We've had unconscious victims in a carbon monoxide environment, as well as attempted suicides with helium. It's not really safe for our officers. They'll utilize the meter, go in and realize it's an unsafe area. But once a secondary officer is able to get there on scene with them, they can actually put this on and be able to make the grab to the victim and hopefully get that victim out and get them the help that they need. One of the things that Drew, the tech that was building everything out for us, he made everything extremely organized. Everything is labeled, everything is nicely wound, and everything is easily accessible. So anytime when it comes to programming the radios, our 3 radios are set here that we're able to quickly program it. And if there is an issue down the line, if we're pushing things a little bit too hard and a fuse blows, I can be able to tell, as opposed to the old ways of test this fuse, test this fuse, test this fuse. I can now look and see, okay, I have the body camera fuse, the radio 1 fuse, radio 2 fuse, everything's here, so I can be able to determine and diagnose any problems that we have with the truck moving forward. And it's just real nice looking and seeing everything nice, neat, and organized. Initially, we had a smaller console build when we were building this truck. We just kept adding things. We wanted to have the ability to have all the radios so we can communicate with all the surrounding towns when we go mutual aid. as well as having the other devices. First In actually built this console custom. What they did was they custom built it based on our needs. Fits the 3 radios that we need, the blueprint siren controller from Sound Off, another digital scanner, the mechanical controls for the spotlight. One of the greatest things that I love about this console, it's got all these bells and whistles and stuff, but the greatest thing that they built was they custom built a cell phone holder right for the middle. So as a supervisor, my phone doesn't go flying across the car all the time. It sits right in this nice little console thing that they built, and it works out perfect. Along with the custom rifle mount that they put in here, in the console they actually put a center console compartments that were able to store certain things. So they were able to work it perfect so it fits with the rifle. And inside of here we're able to keep key books, radar, the remote controller for the winch, spare portable radio batteries, and anything else we need. It's about a one foot deep cabinet that we can fit a lot of stuff in here. Truck's been on the road for about a month now. I am having difficulty as the commander in charge of this unit trying to schedule people to ride this truck. There's 2 officers on each one. They both want to be in this truck every shift. The amount of equipment that you're able to have in it to be able to take care of any problem out there it's insane. The truck is a dream come true. I tell Chief Murphy all the time, every time I see the truck drive by, I'm happy to be able to say that I live in this town because I know the officers are here, they're trained, and they're prepared for pretty much anything that comes into here. I definitely just want to say thank you to Ryan, to Mike Shimsky, to Drew. Through the past 4 years setting this entire project up, it has been insane. I've been the biggest pain in the neck over the past 4 or 5 years setting this truck up, trying to get everything perfect, but they have gotten every little nook and cranny that I've wanted in this truck. They've set it up. Even to the point where they let me take it home for a 3-day tour where I was able to come up with a punch list on items that I wanted to take care of, and they took care of everything, no questions asked, and then made a couple of extra things too that made it even better for this truck.
We can't thank you enough for everything you've done. We look forward to working together in the future on further projects, and we thank you for everything, again, with this truck.
Thank you to 1075s. This truck is a dream come true, and hopefully it's going to be long lasting in this town.